আসসালামু আলাইকুম রহমতুল্লাহ। বন্ধুরা, আশা করি ভালো আছেন। আলহামদুলিল্লাহ, আল্লাহর রহমতে আমিও ভালো আছি। সিঙ্গাপুরে প্রত্যেকটা ডরমেটরিতে বাংলাদেশি ইমাম নিয়োগ দেওয়া হবে। জুমার খুতবা বাংলায় হবে, ঈদের নামাজের খুতবা বাংলায় হবে। আরও বেশ কিছু ঘোষণা আছে, তো চলুন আমরা মুফতি সাহেবের মুখ থেকে শুনে আসি। সিঙ্গাপুরের মুইসের গ্র্যান্ড মুফতি সাহেব এই ঘোষণাটা দিয়েছেন। তো তার আগে বলে রাখি, আপনি যদি আমার ফেসবুক পেজে নতুন হয়ে থাকেন তাহলে অবশ্যই আমার পেজটাকে ফলো করে রাখবেন। আর যদি ইউটিউব চ্যানেল থেকে দেখেন তাহলে চ্যানেলটিকে সাবস্ক্রাইব করে পাশে থাকা বেল আইকনটি ক্লিক করে রাখবেন, যাতে পরবর্তী ভিডিও আপনি সবার আগে পেয়ে যান।
And we are trying our best, inshallah, in the Islamic Religious Council of Muis, Islamic Religious Council of Singapore Muis, providing all necessary support. For example, we train the imams. They are registered. We train them so that they can serve the community in the dorm and elsewhere. So they are certified imams. They can deliver khutbah. They can lead prayers. You can do your prayers safely. Right? We work with Ministry of Manpower, MOM, to support all necessary assistance that you need. We appoint some specialists, provide mental health and so on and so forth. We work with the Singapore Bangladesh Association very closely. Our khutbahs, not Friday and Saturday, but Hari Raya, we have khutbahs in Bengali. I left Singapore when I was just 13 years old for a country in the Middle East. I shall not name the country. So when I was still a young boy, I left Singapore to study. And I stayed there for 12 years. I survived the Gulf War. So when Iraq invaded Kuwait in 1990, I survived that. So I stayed there for 12 years. I know what it means to live far away from loved ones and families. And during my time, there wasn't internet, much less handphones. And I remember when I say Assalamu alaikum to my parents, I've got to wait for a month for them to respond to me with Wa alaikum assalam. Yeah? Because you write a letter, it took the letter about 2 weeks, the fastest. And then if they respond to you immediately, you get it back another 2 weeks. It took us 1 month to say Assalamu alaikum and the response Wa alaikum assalam. We didn't have telephones. It was difficult to make a call. Probably I make a call once a year or twice. And living as a foreigner wasn't easy for me, with all honesty. With all honesty, the manner we were treated as a second or probably third class citizens, names and callings. I liked the Ramadan. I enjoyed the Ramadan. But on the day of Eid, on the day of Hari Raya Eid, Hari Raya was just for an hour. So we went to the mosque, do the takbir, but obviously takbir is not like here in Singapore, very melodious, very beautiful takbir. We would do our prayer, then we would go back home, go back to our dorm and sleep. And then we continue with our life. Brothers, I understand what it means to live far away from homes and families. But I want you to know that this is home to you. And I shall not allow my experience that you too will go through this experience. And that is our commitment. That is our commitment to make sure that Singapore is home to you. And these are families to you. And I'm part of your family member, inshallah. Because I shall not allow any mistreatment simply because you are not Singaporeans. In fact, I was saying to many, Singapore will not be Singapore as it is now, today, without all of you. So please allow me and my colleagues to be good hosts for you. Please allow us to welcome you to Singapore as your home and as your second family. If we fail, and we are not perfect, if we fail, please pardon us and please approach and let us know what else, how else can you do better? Because that is our commitment. And I'm sure Dr. Hamid is here. That's also his commitment. For that very reason, he and his colleagues approached you in the dorm during COVID. Me too. During COVID, I was so active in the dorms, addressing our brothers. So brothers, this is home. I talked to you even, I just talked at this one table of the imams. They have been here between 12 years to 17 years. And I said that they know the roads and streets of Singapore better than me. Except that they are not allowed to get married here in Singapore. Otherwise, if they want to consider a second, please don't. And I'm happy to see many of our brothers who have been here for numerous years. I hope that we have been able to be good family members to you. Now, Singapore is unique. My second point here is Singapore is unique. I have lived in many parts of the world, alhamdulillah. In the Middle East, in Malaysia, obviously Singapore, in Canada, and I've involved in different international boards, and I've traveled extensively, and I've spent a significant number of my formative years overseas, not in Singapore. And I must say that Singapore is unique. Now, this is not a political statement, right? This is not a campaign, it's not a political statement. I say this from the bottom of my heart. I've seen quite a number of places in the world. I lived in these different places. I've lived in a country where majority were Muslims for many years, more than a decade. I live in a country where majority are slightly more Muslims in Malaysia. I've lived in a country where Muslims are just 1%. And I remember my very first Ramadan in Canada, when I so used to adhan, Quran, and suddenly it was so deafening, quiet, silent in Ramadan. I just have to rely on my phone. Singapore is unique, alhamdulillah. I tell you why Singapore is unique. A short while ago, Dr. Hamid mentioned about the harmony and peace. Elsewhere, even in Muslim countries, a small girl will not dare walk from home to a mosque feeling safe. Here in Singapore, the last 10 days of Ramadan is coming very soon. You will see girls, small girls, leaving their homes at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., go to the mosque, and they feel safe, inshallah. Generally, they feel safe. I was in charge of all Singaporean students studying overseas. I used to be the director overseeing that office. And I would advise to them that girls, the female students, do not leave the homes at night without a supervisor, without a male companion, because it wasn't safe. But alhamdulillah, here, Singapore is the most religiously diverse country in the world. We are able to interact with others safely, inshallah. That doesn't mean that we do not have crime, but generally we are safe. Brothers, can we be good Muslims living in a country where majority is not Muslim? Can we still be good Muslims even when we are not living in Mecca and Medina? A clear answer to it is certainly yes, simply because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most just. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Adl. He is most just. He gives every single person equal opportunity. If only you live in Mecca or Medina, you enjoy all the multiple rewards praying in Mecca or in Medina, only then you can be a good Muslim, then Allah is not adil in that sense. Because only small people are given the opportunity to be good Muslims. But do we not agree that Allah SWT is most just? Allah is the most adil? So therefore everyone has the opportunity to be a good Muslim, regardless of where we are. In Moscow, in Ukraine, in Kosovo, in Medina, in Cairo, or wherever we are. We all have equal opportunity. But we need to acknowledge that these different places have different contexts, and we should be able to adapt ourselves to that context. We need to be able to adapt ourselves to the people out there. So let us in this Ramadan renew our iman with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most just, and He gives every single one the equal opportunity regardless of where you are, with whom you live with. We all have equal opportunity to be good Muslims. And the good Muslims are good citizens, contributing to the country, contributing to the place where we are. And you all, I must salute you, the contribution that you've made to Singapore for many years, 17 years serving in Singapore. MashaAllah, our Imam, MashaAllah. And we are trying our best, inshallah, in the Islamic Religious Council of Muis, Islamic Religious Council of Singapore Muis, providing all necessary support. For example, we train the Imams. They are registered. We train them so that they can serve the community in the dorm and elsewhere. So they are certified Imams. They can deliver khutbah. They can lead prayers. You can do your prayers safely. Right? We work with Ministry of Manpower, MOM, to support all necessary assistance that you need. We appoint some specialists, provide mental health and so on and so forth. We work with the Singapore Bangladesh Association very closely. Our khutbahs, not Friday and Saturday, but Hari Raya, we have khutbahs in Bengali. Right? That is our commitment, inshallah. I'm here to assure you to renew this commitment. I'm here to tell you that, my dear brothers, this is home, this is our shared home. We will make this home a happy, peaceful, harmonious home for everyone. And if I fall short of my responsibility, please let me know. Knock me, nudge me, remind me. So therefore I'm here to listen to you, inshallah. I want to learn as much as possible. After this, I've asked that I have a bit of time to interact with you all and to listen to your needs, struggles and support, inshallah. So let me end by thanking the organizers, Dr. Muntasir and colleagues, and everyone, Mr. Ahmad from the embassy for the support, and everyone here. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring our hearts together. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala strengthen our resolve and our determination. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring peace to the world. And the amanah responsibility that we need to do is to protect this peace and harmony that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted us here in Singapore before it is taken away, inshallah. Aqul qawli hadha wa astaghfirullah li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.